Welcome back. Do you know someone who heads to Florida in the fall and the winter? Maybe yourself, a friend, a parent? Well, it seems that many snowbirds are maybe rethinking headed south to Florida as the number of COVID cases and deaths are on the rise. So what's Florida doing about it? Let's ask the state's Lieutenant Governor, Jeanette Nunez. Welcome back to the show.
Always great being with you, Sean. Thanks.
Hey, you guys got hit really hard on the tourism side of your economy because of COVID. Now it appears as though we head into the fall, COVID cases and deaths are on the rise, and you're going to have a lot of senior citizens that are probably going to think twice about heading down to Florida. What is this going to mean for your economy, and what are you guys doing to alleviate those fears?
First of all, what I would say is if you look at our cases, clearly we have had an increase in cases. Deaths, obviously we've had an increase in death, and any death is obviously very concerning for us. But if you look at it from a case fatality rate, certainly other states far outpace Florida in terms of death. California, Michigan, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, the list goes on and on. So what Governor DeSantis has done since day one really is focus our efforts, focus our initiatives in protecting the most vulnerable, which is the elderly. And we are obviously, we welcome our snowbirds and we can assure them that we're not only going to be safe, we're going to provide them with whatever resources that they might need.
Well, one of those resources I know would be a vaccine as well. I know that Vice President Pence was actually just in Miami yesterday talking about a stage 3 vaccine. Listen to this.
It's important to note that under Operation Warp Speed, we're not even waiting to the end of clinical trials to create the vaccines, whether it be Moderna or was announced last week with Pfizer. We're actually having these companies produce the vaccines as we speak. And as soon as they are confirmed to be safe and effective, we'll have tens of millions of doses able to distribute across the country.
Lieutenant Governor, how promising do you think that these trials will be? I know there's a couple taking place in Florida.
Yeah, Lindsay, and what I would say is that obviously that's very promising for the future. It's very promising to hear the Vice President and the President talk about Operation Warp Speed in Miami. At the University of Miami, they'll be holding at least 1,000 of those clinical trials right there. What you see is, in addition to the President and the Vice President's promise, you also heard from the FDA Commissioner assuring the American public that they would not cut corners. So the safety and the efficacy of the vaccine is something that they're going to continue to monitor and make sure as they begin to roll out, with the hope of potentially even as later this year, a vaccine for COVID-19, we'll see a tremendous emphasis and a focus on ensuring that the right individuals will be able to have access to the vaccine.
Lieutenant Governor, let me switch gears for a second. In 2016, President Trump won the state of Florida by just over a point. That's what it took to get all 29 electoral votes. What's it going to take this time for him to carry Florida?
Well, certainly we're working hard here in Florida, and I'm very proud to serve as the national co-chair for Latinos for Trump. We're proud of the record of achievement that this president has had. We're proud of the fact that he authored the greatest economic chapter in Florida's history for many individuals. And so we're confident that once we're able to get through this pandemic, there is no one more capable and more ready to handle the next chapter of America's, really our economic comeback.
You know, you mentioned Latinos. I know that the Latino community in Florida is quite diverse, actually. What are you doing specifically to bring that vote home?
Certainly, I think the most important thing that we need to talk about is what is important to the Latino population. And you're right, it is diverse. But what I'll tell you is that Latinos in general, no matter where you hail from, you care about your family, you care about your future, and you care about your freedom. And there is no one in recent memory that has stood stronger on the side of democracy, that has stood stronger on the side of parental choice for education. So many Hispanics and Latinos throughout the state of Florida have availed themselves of school choice. And the economic opportunities that have existed under this president, lowest number, the lowest rate of unemployment, highest median income ever recorded, home ownership on the rise, and nothing reverberates the American dream louder than owning your own home.
Hey, Lieutenant Governor, real quick, your state is home to a lot of seniors. That's been a very reliable vote for the Republican Party and a very reliable vote for President Trump last cycle. There seems to be some slippage in the polls. My position on national polls is very clear. That being said, are you worried about the erosion among the senior population?
Sean, I probably share your position on polls. If you had counted on polls, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now. But nonetheless, what you've seen President Trump do with reducing the cost of prescription drugs just last week, I mean, groundbreaking legislation, really tremendous opportunities to protect our seniors, to make sure that they continue to have access to Medicare in a way that's not going to force them to choose between having to pay for their medications or having to pay for their rent. This president stands by seniors, and I expect that seniors are going to stand by him.
All right. I mean, I guess we're going to win. We're going to do well with Latinos, and you're going to do well with seniors. So, all right, we'll put Florida in the win column, count those 29 electoral votes for Trump, right? All right, when we come back, many young people continue to flock to that social media app called TikTok, which we've been telling you is a tool of the Chinese government. But guess what? There's a new alternative that's available, and some of the top TikTokers in the country are moving over. They're going to be here to discuss that after the break.